After 43 years on this planet, I know an Italian work of art when I see one. So today, we're making gnocchi. Gnocchi, gnocchi, gnocchi. Anyway, this was my sister's idea. When I did the Tuscan butter mushrooms a few months back, the link for that's somewhere. It's there. My sister made this, and she did it with gnocchi, and she said it was absolutely amazing. I've been dying to try it, so I'm glad I finally did. That's what we're making today, so let's get it done.
All right, we're going to start off with 2 pounds of russet potatoes. Take that fork, clean your potatoes thoroughly, and then stab it with a fork, because stabbing things is fun. Now be very careful to stab the potato and not yourself. And this is so they don't explode in the oven. Once you have them cleaned and poked, you're going to bake them in a 400-degree oven for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes until they're nice and tender. Love my tender potato, love me true. Anyway, so we're going to cut these in half long ways, just like that. Don't cut yourself, cut the potato. Got your halves. Now take a spoon and scoop out your potato guts. You want to try and not get any peel in there, any skin, because that just won't mash up nice and smooth. So scrape out the guts. Do that with all your potatoes. Now, I'm using a ricer. You don't have to use a ricer. You can do this with a hand masher in the bowl. It just takes a little bit of extra effort. It still comes out fantastic. But if you have a ricer, definitely use it. If you don't have one, consider investing in one, because it makes very, very flurfy potatoes. And who doesn't love flurfy potatoes, you know what I mean? Squeeze it out. It's like playing with Play-Doh. This is fun to do. I enjoy doing this because you just get to squeeze the bejesus out of it. Anyway, take your fluffy potatoes, taste a piece just to see if it's delicious, and it was, in fact, delicious. Gonna make a little bit of a well. I don't know why I did that. Wasn't really necessary. 1/4 cup of freshly grated pecorino romano, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. So 1 whole, 1 yolk. Fry up the egg whites as a nice healthy breakfast. It's good for you, trust me. Now with a fork, we're gonna mix this until it is fully combined, homogeneous, well mixed, whatever other kind of adjectives you want to use. Now we're going to move that to the side. 1 1/2 cup or 180 grams of all-purpose flour. Now the one thing I should have done was mix this all in a bowl instead of on the board. It would have been easier, but hey, I never do things the easy way. I do things my way, which is not always the right way, but the end result is good. So mix this in a bowl instead of doing it like this, or you can do it like this, have fun. It just makes a little bit of a mess. But you want to combine that 1.5 cups of flour into your potato mixture. Or you want to mix a potato mixture into the flour. However you want to do it. Is the glass half empty? Is it half full? I don't know. All I know is I need another drink. So get your potato mixture and your flour combined. Takes a few minutes. You don't want to overwork this dough. You want to kind of be gentle with it. If you overwork it, you'll have tough gnocchi, and nobody wants tough gnocchi. I'm kind of saying it funny, gnocchi. Gnocchi, I don't know, whatever the correct pronunciation is, just go with that. So once you have a nice, smooth, supple, and not too sticky dough, we're going to cut this into 4 pieces. Use as much flour as you'd like to use. There is no, I mean, I'm sure you could use too much if you dump a whole bag on this, but feel free to be generous dusting the flour. This dough will be sticky in spots, so just be very generous with your flour. Now, before we get started with rolling and forming our gnocchi, we're going to take a sheet pan and we're going to very generously dust that with some flour. It's actually easier if you use a sifter and sift it right on there instead of splattering it around like a spastic moron like I do, but that's all right. That's me. That's how I do it. You know what I mean? Now we're going to take our dough quarters and we're going to roll them out into a snake that's about 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, I don't have a big enough board right now because you know, budgets and stuff, so I had to cut my snake in half and go. But you want to roll it out till it's about 3/4 of an inch. Just like that. Work from the middle, work your way out. You want it even. That fork's going to come into play, so just keep your eye on that. We're going to take a bench scraper or a knife, and we're going to cut our 3/4 inch snake into 3/4 inch gnocchi pillows. Now with these pillows, you can just put a dent in it and cook them up. You can shape it however you want, but the traditional is grooved on one side with a hollow on the other. It takes a little practice. Clearly, I didn't practice, but by the end, I got really good at it. So you want to kind of get ribs on one side, a little hollow on the back side. That'll help the sauce stick to it. Show you one more. Kind of roll it, just like that. Ribs and a hollow. That's what you want, just like that. Put them all onto the sheet pan, just like that. Again, excess flour on the outside is not a big deal. Large pot, lot of water, heavily salted. Should be like the sea. Turn it on high, get it up to a rolling boil. While that's heating up, we're going to make our sauce. 1/4 of a cup, 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use the salted, that is fine. You could use the unsalted, that's fine too. Make sure your pan's not too hot. This should be over medium heat. I was taking work phone calls while I was doing this for my day job, and I kind of got the pan a little too hot. Hey, if you don't want me getting my pan too hot, why don't you hit that subscribe button so I can do this full time and get rid of that day job, you know what I mean? Let's do that. So hit that subscribe button right now. Do it. Do it! And melt your butter. I had to take it off the heat to cool it down. It was way too hot. Anyway, butter's just about melted. We're going to go with 3 nice big juicy cloves of garlic that we've run through our press. If you don't have a press, mince it nice and fine. 1 tablespoon of tomato toothpaste. I think it's tomato toothpaste. I mean, it's tomato paste. The one in the tube is always better. It's sweeter, it's got a better flavor, and you can brush your teeth with it if you really want. Get that frying for about 2 minutes or so. You want that tomato paste to start melting into the butter. You can see it's changing color. It's beautiful. That garlic is getting nice and fragrant. 1 cup of cherry tomatoes that have been cut into half. I'm going to let that cook for about another minute or so till it gets soft. 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Stir it up so it's nice and mixed up. What's nice is because of the fat content of the cream, the butter is just going to mix in. You're going to have a nice cohesive sauce. It's going to emulsify nicely, and it's beautiful. Now, red pepper flake, guinea gunpowder. Use as much or as little as you'd like. You like it not spicy at all, don't use any. You like it really spicy, use more. 1/2 teaspoon, which is about what I put in, was just the right amount of heat. You just want to know it's there, you know what I mean? Mix it up, let that get fragrant. Now we're going to go with 3 nice big beefy leaves. Ends up being about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons of fresh basil. That's a chiffonade right there, if you want to use a French fancy word. Chiffonade meaning thin ribbons. Look at how silky and velvety and it's such a nice sauce. Gonna let this get to a gentle simmer. See, it's bubbling. We're gonna add 3 cups of baby spinach because it always tastes better when it's a baby. That was horrible. I shouldn't even said that. And you're a terrible person for laughing at it, and that's why I love you. Back to our water. It's boiling. We're gonna go with a 1/2 to a 1/3, or 1/3 to a 1/2, depending on which way you're working, of our gnocchi. We're gonna put it in there. And these things, you don't have to time it. It tells you when it's done. See, they pop up to the surface. Look at that. See them popping up? That's when you know they're done. So when you get a bunch popping up, we're going to take our spider or a slotted spoon and we're going to remove them, just like this. Scoop out the floaters. It's not the first time you ever were told that, was it, huh? So we're going to scoop those out. I'm going to pop those right into the sauce, just like that. My fantastic camera skills. Apologize for the bouncing around, but you know. So we're going to remove them into our sauce. We're going to repeat the cooking process until they're all cooked, just like that, nice and beautiful. We're going to toss to coat and combine. Look at that. Oh, this was so good. Now turn the heat off and you're going to add 1/4 of a cup of freshly grated pecorino romano cheese and mix it to thoroughly combine. Very important to turn the heat off though. Otherwise, that cheese is going to get stringy. It's not going to mix in. Plate it up time, baby. Oh, I forgot to mention, after you add the cheese, check for seasoning, salt and pepper. Very important. That cheese is salty, so you don't want to do that beforehand. Now on the top, we're going to grate on, shred it, some more freshly grated pecorino romano. Fresh is always best, right? So add as much cheese as you'd like. This is your party. Do it how you like it. Cheese it. Now it's time to eat it.
It's so pretty. It really is. It's very pretty. And it's amazing. I love gnocchi. They're so soft and doughy and pillowy and just perfect. And this sauce just mates up perfectly with it. Wow. That's ridiculous. You get some spinach on there and some tomato. There we go. Spinach and tomato. Get the whole package. Whoa. That's insane. That's so good. So there you have it, folks. Absolutely delicious. It takes a little bit of effort to make, a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but it is so worth it. Trust me on this. It's worth it. So make this, make it for your friends and family, make it for yourself because you deserve it. It's delicious and you'll be thankful. I want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, if you like gnocchi, if you got something you want to share about it, drop that down in the comments. You want to see me make something? I take suggestions. Drop that down in the comments. You want to tell me I suck? Hey, that's cool. Drop that down in the comments. But please make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one.